Okay. Okay. All right. All right. What's up, everyone? AJ Writes Crypto here to have another crypto live stream. Super excited to get into it. So I'm sure some of you saw my tweet. You should have sold. No, so I think, guys, it drives me crazy when people comment on a tweet when they clearly did not watch the whole video. You know, I bought a looper and I want to start doing like some more fun, guys. I used to be a touring musician, and I showed a glimpse of it to my crypto world when I did the Pay Me an Algo song with Cassius. Again, I don't want to tuck my ears. That was weird. And I March, because there was a giveaway for it, bro. So I showed a little bit of my music stuff when I did my song with Cassius, and I decided, with having the year I had, to really kind of tap into some of my performer aspect, musical aspect with my crypto content. And I spent some money on Black Friday. I got like all sorts of like new gear, like to kind of work in like just having some fun with it kind of thing. And I think the looper video yesterday, I might post it on YouTube today, as just to, do something different. And I had a lot of fun with that. But of course, like, people comment on the post without watching the video, and they're like, oh, like, what do you mean you should have sold? I'm like, well, if you're trying to optimize, you probably should have sold that local top. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying if you're hodling, for the love of God, if you're hodling, don't listen to that video. Just hodl. All right. This is what I'll say. Last week, the week of Thanksgiving, that was not the top of the bull market. I'm going to go flat out and say that. Let me say it again. You can clip it if you want to. So I can point back to, remember what I said December 10th? That last week was not the top of the bull market. Not even close. All right. There, I said it. So if we're hodling, just hodl. If you're trading, if you're optimizing the significant pumps like we talked about in my portfolio update the other day, I did give you guys a bunch of levels for all of those coins. The portfolio, I decided to hodl the bags. I didn't make any big moves just because, it's a retest. So, we are going to see this turnaround. We're going to regain those prices. We're going to exceed those prices in a pretty insane magnitude, in my opinion. That bag was $310,000 when I made the video. Now it's $268, but there's only 100,000 invested, and there's another 100,000 in stable coins I haven't deployed yet. So really, from the 100,000 we put in, we're up $68,900. All right. So yeah, hey, we're still up just about 70%. I'm not complaining. This takes time. All right. So, I don't want people to get me wrong when I'm like, you should have sold. Like, what I'm joking. And I'm also saying that if you're optimizing, yes, that was a local top. And, God knows how long this retest will take. Remember, we had a local top back in March, and we didn't pop back off until November, early December. So, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, 7-8 months it took the last time. Hopefully this time it doesn't take that long. I don't think it will. But, and also because things went a lot higher than they did, I think we're going to have a higher floor than before. I don't think we're going to go all the way back to big support resistance for a lot of coins. And of course, when we get to the charts in today's show, we will talk about that. So big shout out. Got about 300 people on X, 153 on YouTube. Thank y'all for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure you smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Got some pretty cool content this week. Have been working a lot on my course that I've been writing with Gareth Soloway, Verified Investing. Kind of going to be like the face of the crypto branch for VI, which is really sick. I am going to Florida at some point to film that course. I wanted to film sooner than later. I don't know if we'll be able to get that in before Christmas or if it'll be kind of January kind of thing. We are going out in January. We will be going to the UFC 311 in Los Angeles with the VeChain team. Super excited for that. Shout out to VeChain, of course. That's going to be a blast. I know, Melker's going. The Altcoin Daily Boys are going to be there, so certainly going to be a good time hanging out with everybody. And I kind of got a trick up my sleeve for that event as well. So I'm kind of talking about it now just to kind of give you guys a little heads up that something's gonna happen at that event. All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Oleg, Gregory, Kimi, Crypto Carter, Marsh, Karen, Wonderbar, Ogre, Matt, 151, Slick Rick. Shout out to everybody. I do appreciate each and every one of you. So let's get into kind of an overview of the market. All right, let's kind of start from the beginning here and catch everyone up to speed, so we're all on the same page. All right, let me get a fresh refresh here, so there's no qualms about price. Bitcoin just still above 96,000. Like, that's pretty dope, to be honest. For alts to fall as hard as they did and Bitcoin to still be at 96, are we starting a downtrend? I think that's more of the question right now. Or are we going to kiss and pop? We can certainly explore that today. We are going to go into the charts pretty hard today. I know before I completely go into the charts and the news and everything else, I do want to say that I've had a lot of new Telegram members join from the Black Friday sale. Guys, there's like 270 some people in the Telegram group now. I could not be more bullish on the Telegram group and everybody in there. I do kind of want to make a video for the new people to kind of catch them up. I think I could maybe work that in Thursday. We'll probably do like a beginner type video on the channel for anyone just trying to kind of learn the gist of my strategy. And, I do have an indicator video already, but maybe I'll kind of throw some new ones in there. I kind of just want to catch up some of the beginners. I know we got new beginners. As crypto pumps, people get excited, new people come in, and we're kind of at a point where a lot of people are asking questions. Oh, should I buy now? And I'm like, no, so we do have to have kind of questions like that answered. And then I know some people wanted to do rate my portfolio. I don't have time to do rate my portfolio today because I have an eye doctor's appointment and I don't want to run the show over today. But if I know there's a lot of people that want to do rate my portfolio, we'll do that Thursday on the live stream Thursday. And of course, members only will be Friday as usual. So make sure if you want to be a member of the show to watch the members only live streams, and those streams are aimed directly at the Telegram group. So they have extra attention and there's an open Q&A and everything like that. So just kind of wanted to give that little overview, especially for the new people joining the community. I know that we've had a lot of new people join this channel, join the Telegram, kind of join my community in the past month. So thank you for being here. If you're new, really appreciate. Hope you stick around. Got a lot to learn, got a lot of money to make. So I want to help everybody at every level. I can help anyone that's from brand new to expert trader. I have something to teach you. So back into the markets here. Solana still above 100. Dogecoin still at 38. Like, guys, this retest isn't that bad. I think some alts, it seems like they got hit harder than they did, but really, like, it's not that bad. At least not yet. Like Hedera is still 27 cents, guys. 27 cents. Remember when the BlackRock thing happened earlier this year when they put out that press release that was kind of, and people kind of got confused about what happened there? Not going to go into that situation, but that BlackRock pump on the H-bar chart, that took H-bar to 18 cents. And everyone lost their minds. Everyone lost their minds that H-bar, spike pumped to 18 cents and then, came back down the next day. We just had a pretty sick retest and H-bar is still 27 cents. It's kind of one of those things like, yeah, guys, well, that's kind of what happens when all the coins we talk about on this channel, double, triple, 4x in price, basically overnight. You've got to expect some of that to come back down. You can't just expect to just get up there and stay up there. That's not how this works. You got to be quick on your feet. And that's why I've really been trying to drill into everybody's head. Hey, if you're holding, that was not the top. Just keep holding. You're fine. But the thing is, when people are just holding and they say, I'm just holding, but then they watch their bag, let's say someone gets their bag to 100,000 and then they watch it fall to 70,000. They get mad. And I'm like, what are you mad about? That wasn't the top. Like, you're going to see things fluctuate. This is normal. It's just at a different stakes now. The stakes are higher now. This isn't This isn't summer anymore. This isn't August. So, I think people, if you say you're holding, you need to stick to that plan, because you can't chase the pumps and you can't chase the dips. If you're selling on the way down, if something falls 30% and then you sell, what are you doing? What are you doing? Either be very clear with your jump in, jump out strategy, or actually hold. And if you're actually going to hold, you can't kick yourself for not optimizing. And I think people are struggling with that right now. I don't want to talk in circles, but you get my point. All right. So near 617, I think that's certainly one I want to target as things move forward as well. ICP, I kind of slept on ICP this bull run. Not that I don't like the project, not that I don't like the people that work for the project. It's just one of those deals where there's so many coins, man. Like, you can't have them all. You can't catch them all. I literally did this portfolio that I did, right? And even now, we did this portfolio. We bought like 12 altcoins. And guess what? Algorand outperformed every single one of them, most of them by more than double. You know what I mean? So, the truth is that as a professional, I want to diversify. I don't want to be a one-trick pony. I don't want to put all my money into one bag. But there are situations where something outperforms everything else. And that happens. And it's also the truth with that is that, well, shouldn't have you just bought all Algorand? Well, in hindsight, I guess, but the truth is that crypto's crypto, and you don't want to just hold one or two coins. I completely disagree with that. One, we're not even close to the real top, and everything will have its day in the sun. And two, even if I was right, guys, VeChain, Algorand, are my two favorite picks, and they outperform just about everything. But that doesn't mean I'm just holding those two coins. You still want to be diversified. I think the sweet spot for a portfolio, if you've been around for a while, I'd say 10 to 12, maybe 13, 14 at the very most. If you're a beginner, I'd say 6 to 8, maybe 9. If in terms of how many coins should you hold. We are currently dumping. All right, I will take a look at the charts here in a minute. I have 10 main coins and 20 play coins. Well, don't lose your head with the play coins. These shorts have been killing. I know we posted a handful of shorts in the Telegram group that played out very well, especially I posted specifically XRP and HBAR before the dump, saying, hey, don't miss this if it happens. And those shorts worked out really well. I know some people in the group made a lot of money on those shorts. So if you are one of those people, high five. All right. How to get in the Telegram group, send an email to ajalphagroup@gmail.com. My guy Ogre makes these graphics here. Dude, look at these wins from the Thanksgiving week. Insane. Shout out to my homie Ogre. That's how you get in. ajalphagroup@gmail.com. If somehow you got missed or you sent an email, we didn't get back to you, whatever, just send another one. We do try our very best to get everybody. I am going to finally say the Black Friday deal is over. We are going back to normal pricing. Black Friday lasted a week longer than it should have. But I did want to give everyone an opportunity to get in. I will say that if you send an email for Black Friday, if you already sent your Black Friday email while the door was open and you didn't get in yet, we will still honor the deal as long as you sent the email before Sunday night. That's how we're going about it. So if you're not in the group yet and you already sent the email and you're freaking out because you sent the email in the window, we will honor it. But if you send the email today, back to normal pricing. The Black Friday deal was like a week and a half. All right. But hey, we got a bunch of more people in the group. We want to help as many people as we can. All right. So I just kind of wanted to finish going over the prices. VeChain still holding about 5.5 cents. I think FET is one that's definitely needs to catch up in a big way. I think BitTensor hasn't really had its day in the sun yet. I mean, it's been okay, but nothing crazy. Algorand just outside the top 50, 39 cents, down 26 in the past 7 days, 13% in the past 24 hours. Guys, I mean, Algorand hit 60 cents, man. And to be fair, when we were talking about it on this channel, when I was jumping up and down, what was I saying? 16 cents, 16 cents. Get all the Algorand you can below 16 cents. I was saying that at 12 cents. And some people, oh, you're an idiot. There are so many of your better coin, blip, 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 blip. Well, from that point in time, Algorand outperformed 99% of crypto in the top 100. Maybe 97% of crypto in the top 100. Just have a sip, a nice tall glass, a well-deserved cold sip of I told you so. Damn, that was good. That was good. All right, where were we? Let's go check the winners, losers, and then we'll run into everything else. Gainers and losers, top 100. All right, we got basically a couple 2% winners. That doesn't count. I don't think. All right, Gala down real big. Dog whiff. Okay, now we're talking. Dog whiff 270 down 20%, guys. I will say this. If you are new to the Telegram group, or if you're in the Telegram group, period, go back and find the dog whiff charts I posted. We started talking dog whiff early summer, maybe before that. And dog whiff is I probably made the most money leverage trading that coin this year out of everything. And I think people in the group have made more money trading dog whiff than any other coin. And it's because it respects the same levels over and over again. And when we say in the group, hey, when you turn on an alarm, leave that alarm on, because what a level that worked for a long before, when it comes around, might also work for a short later. So all those old alarms on dog whiff are money makers. Go back and find the dog whiff chart. You're going to make money on that chart, especially with this kind of volatility. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you had the wherewithal to already have done that. Yeah, and I will post an updated dog whiff chart, I'll say today in the group. So definitely and Brett's another one as well. We've done really good in the Telegram group with that one too. Yeah, I'm not surprised to see like Floki, Sand, all that bonk down a bit. Pyth, man, dude, Pyth has completely underperformed what I thought it could do. I mean, it's still 38 cents. And even back when we did this portfolio here, when we originally did this bag, I was saying, hey, get all the Pyth you can under 40 cents. And it did go in like 55 or something like that. But as you can see from the $10,000 buys, you know, Pyth is the only one down. It's only down like $100 from a $10,000 buy, and everything else is still green. But you know, that is one that really did underperform my expectations, especially in this previous pump. I think it will have its day in the sun, but I'm a little skeptical about really loading up in Pyth right now. Maybe I'll eat those words. I'm not going to sell it, but I expected more out of that one. I really did. And of course, guys, we have a lot of 10, 15, 16%, 13% losers here. And altcoins, you know, that's what happens. That's what happens. And so why did we see this pump? Well, first of all, why did we see this crash? Let's talk about that. Like I said, when things triple in price, you're probably going to see things pull back at least 30, 40%. Go back on any chart. Let's look at here. Let's go back and look at wait, where's my Algorand chart, or even Avalanche? Perfect. Let's look at this Avalanche chart. First of all, so the video we made on Sunday, the portfolio update, these were the levels that I gave you guys. Hey, let's conditionally range Avalanche. We break this, we can consider going high. We lose this, hey, maybe we should not hold the bags and wait for the retest to play itself out. And look where I drew this down line, and look where it stopped. I literally nailed that on accident. I just drew the line like this, and it just happened to stop right there. I'm not going to take full credit for that hint of brilliance, but we were on the money. And let's look at that. I mean, I gave all of these levels out in that portfolio update for free. Say you shorted from this level, 49.31. I mean, right now you're up you either sold your HODL bag and you prevented yourself from losing 14.7%, or you went short and you won 14.7%. And those are the kind of trades that you got to watch out for. When I post a video like the portfolio update, I tell my Telegram group, hey, I just gave you guys some sweet levels in that video. Don't sleep on that video. And we are spot on the money. But let's go back to my point here. Look at my point here. Let's go back to 20. All right, it doesn't go back to 21, but look at this. Look at this. So Avalanche had this initial pump here. All right. And this really kind of started October 23 and it topped out December 23. Let's look at that. All right. So from kind of swing low, all right, we're talking about 477% in 72 days. All right. So let's go from, well, really swing lows down here. I'll measure from this one. All right. 165% in 70 days. So we have, this pump was much bigger, but that kind of 3 month-ish type window, 2.5 to 3 month type window for bottom to top of the pump. And look at this. So it came to 49 something. Top to bottom, it lost 44% in the scope of 32 days. Right here was, just under 50% loss in 32 days. And look, it bounced off of this level and continued. And what's funny about that level is that it's already there. We talk about this level. See this? I'll just extend this support resistance level we already have drawn because it kind of bounced right there as well. And look how many times this level has been respected. Retest, 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 retest. And then once it stopped being the floor, it started being the ceiling. Look, rejected, rejected, rejected. And then once it gets back above, retest. This is probably the most important level on the Avalanche chart. I think this level kind of separates the value area low from the value area high. All right. So how far away are we from this? I mean, guys, we had this ascending triangle type move here back when we started the 100K portfolio. And that was kind of, the baseline for a lot of my justifications for the graph, for optimism, for Avalanche. We talked, these ascending triangle setups were all over the top 100. And we definitely exceeded the measured move here. By a minute. We went way past the measured move here. But so let's kind of consider that level and consider, all right, here's this top. So we're going to say this is support resistance. All right. We also have big support resistance right here. All right. You don't believe me? Let's just zoom in just on the candles, ignore the oscillator. All right. So why is this support resistance? Well, we have this right here, that wick right there, right here. It fought for it right here and this right there. So this is obviously a very big level on Avalanche. And this level is at 41.85. All right. And what's the price of Avalanche right now? 42.33. All right. So we are just above, we wicked below it, but we are just above that level right now. Let's zoom into, say, like a 2 hour. All right. So we are kind of fighting at this level and we are above it at the moment. I would say to certainly set an alarm at that level, 41, I'd say 41.91 to be exact. We're at 42.52 right now. We lose that level. Well, what are our targets? Well, I would say the first target has to be right here. We wicked to this level here. And on the way up the hill, we kind of fought for it here, and we could extend this level here. Let me pull this back, extend this over here. Because look, this was a floor. It was a ceiling, and then it became the floor 3 times after that. You get my point. So that would be a short alarm, and this would be your target. So you'd set that alarm. This alarm goes off. You search for confluence or just jump in the trade with a tight stop loss. And then bang, top to bottom, we're talking 9.5% trade right there. So this is the kind of homework I'm really looking at when it comes to a lot of these retests, or if I'm just trying to short on the way down the hill. Obviously, we do kind of have the RSIs pushing down. We're kind of falling in the money flow, but we could be printing bullish divergences here as well. If you look just at market cipher here, just look at market cipher. All right, so obviously we have the kind of local high. We begin to fall. And then right here, we're really kind of dipping down. You see that, right? But what's more important is that kind of right here, we have this big move down, big momentum down. And you see how this one is already coming down? If this one turns around lower than this one, that will be a bullish divergence right there. See how that's pointing that direction. All right. Now let's look. Let's look at just the candles. You see how this kind of body is like that? Although we have the wick, the body's like this. If we can print a green dot right here, you could make a case for a bounce here. You really could. But I wouldn't guess that. I'm not saying that's happening. I'm saying this is why reacting to the market is much better than guessing. Believe me. All right. So it's one of those deals where 2 hour, kind of looks like we could be getting a death cross. We obviously could be starting like a bit of, I mean, this is kind of a hard downtrend to draw, really. If you kind of ignore, kind of like that, I suppose if you ignore the big wicks, you could kind of draw it like that. And then I guess it would be a descending broadening channel. You could look at it like that. This is a smaller time frame type draw here. But yeah, that's certainly what we're looking at. And like I said, this alarm is really big at 41.91. And first target for that short would be 38.09. So guys, I just kind of wanted to put into perspective here that overall, anytime we see these big moves up, right, regardless of the level targets and everything, when we see these big moves up the hill, all right, we are going to see this. All right. So the difference is also, I don't have a volume profile. The difference is that sometimes we hit support resistance and continue, and sometimes we fall for, 8 months after the top. All right. But, everything about that last pump certainly felt local toppy. I said that multiple times, local top. So now it's kind of about where does we support resistance draw the line? Where do we pause? And this is why the major support resistance levels on Avalanche, we already lost this one. We are fighting for this one. And this would be the next one. And then after that, obviously we're back in the doldrums, all the way back down here at $20. And that's certainly what we don't want to see. So or you could use Fibonacci. Fibonacci a lot of times does align with the big support resistance levels. For instance, if we go from swing low here to local high here, the 0.5 just about aligns with this level. Okay. We see a very, very close to this level. And then if we kind of zoom in, I know it's a little bit messy. I apologize for that. But yeah, I would say that the Fibonacci is actually right at the 0.5 price right now. And then, so if we continued, we could maybe fight back to 46, or if we lost 0.5, the 618 is down here at 35.42, which makes sense because there's a pretty big volume spike right there. And that's another concerning aspect of Avalanche for price action either way. Because if we here, let's eliminate the Fibonacci and just look at the volume profile. First of all, the point of control is here. All right. But then we have low volume node, low volume node, low volume node. We have 1, 2, 3 main low volume nodes on the Avalanche chart, right? So we're right here. The price is right here. All right. So if we lose this level, it is very likely that Avalanche, and the interesting about this first target I gave you, that target is a striated target in terms of it's striated with the volume profile. It's not aligned with the volume profile. And that target, it could keep going past that target is what I'm saying. In the event it continues to tumble. And so this volume profile takes us all the way down to $34. From right here, top to bottom, that's an 18% move down. The good part is that if Avalanche could fight and it could get past this level, which also is support resistance aligned with the volume profile at 45.75, we kind of have this gap right here, and that obviously takes us back up to local high. And that move just from the volume profile measurements is about 12% to the upside. So there is confluence for the volume profile either direction. Basically, there's a low volume node on both sides of the range we're in. Right now, the range we're in is right here. All right. And there's a low volume node above it, and there's a low volume node below it. So definitely going in on the avalanche chart and setting those alarms based off of the volume profile could certainly help guide your next trades. And like I said, if we continue to fall, my first target, I would short from 41.86. My first target would be 38.10. And my second target would be at the volume profile at 34.68. And that also kind of takes you to the heart of this range, which is what I like to call a box of chop. And then this high was actually the high of the ascending triangle that we broke out of all the way back at $30. I don't think we're going to fall that far. I would be damn surprised if we fall all the way back to where we started. I think a big takeaway from this pump is to discover, are we going to have a higher floor? That would be a big signal of strength for me. But there is some people are distracted. There is some worry, which kind of takes us to the main story of today's show really fast. A lot of people on Twitter, 257 on YouTube. Thanks you guys for being here. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. What people are worried about is quantum computers. But the security experts are already saying that the Google's quantum success here will not threaten Bitcoin security. But of course, Lark and all the, crypto YouTube people have made videos basically saying, hey, if these quantum computers come out, we're fucked. That's basically what they're saying. Excuse my French. This not good at all. And that Bitcoin could get cracked. But there's a little bit more to it than that. The first big take that I've heard about the quantum computer chips is that if they got to a point where they could attack financial systems, it wouldn't start with crypto. It would probably start at traditional banking first. That's thing one, because crypto is obviously much stronger than the traditional systems that we have by a lot. Also, if you look at the article here, it says Google Willow, a new quantum computer chip with 105 qubits, is raising concerns about Bitcoin security. All right, so this is the best, most powerful computer that has ever been made in mankind's history. And the quantum computer chip has 105 qubits. For Bitcoin to be worried about getting cracked, it has to have 1,000 qubits. We're only at 105. So they're not even close. Is kind of my point. And the normal financial system would get hit first. Crypto would get hit second. And they're still 895 qubits away from even being able to attempt to crack Bitcoin. Another good thing about crypto is that we could fork. We could split off and say, all right, we're not going to let that happen. We're going to go do this thing over here, and you could fork the network, which will probably happen. Or, guys, this is my time to say, this is my little plug here for a main sponsor of this channel. Algorand is quantum resistant, ladies and gentlemen. They already anticipated this. So imagine a world where, the Google AI with 105 qubits, the AIs all get together and make a 90,000 billion qubit computer. Well, then at that point, all of crypto would just go all into Algorand. And that would be it. It would just be Algo. And I would be the president, and I would just have a flag over my shoulder, and I'd be sitting in a beach chair. But I wouldn't be on the beach. I'd probably just be hanging out like on top of the White House or something. And I have my feet up, and I would take another well-deserved sip, long, cold sip from the glass of I told you so. So good. Yeah. So guys, I understand the concerns with the quantum computers, but don't freak out. They're so far away. It's going to take a lot more than that to break crypto. And like I said, we could fork if we need to. There is a lot more to it. I'm not a coder, but I did read enough of it to explain it simply. Obviously read these articles if you want to learn more. But the computer's not powerful enough yet to hurt crypto. So I think this makes it a reality. I think that conversation has always been there. I've literally been at a poker table when somebody said, "Oh, well, once quantum computers happen, your crypto is going to go to zero anyway. So I'm just going to keep raising you for $8." That's, what people have told me. And I tell myself, well, yeah, but that hasn't happened yet. And crypto can fork and I think we'll be fine. But I also think that this does make it more of an immediate threat. Not immediate threat as in sell your shit because we're about to get glitched out, but it's also more of a, hey, in 5 years, in 8 years, however long it takes, they could build a quantum chip that could do this thing. But also in the same breath, like, once they build that chip, you'd have to get it in the hands of someone who wants to do that, has malicious intent. So there's also that kind of the building block to the crime happening too. There's a lot of steps between right now and that happening. And I don't think it's ever going to happen, to be honest. Like I said, the chips are way not even close to where they need to be. And crypto can evolve between now and then is my main point. So I wouldn't freak out about this. I really wouldn't. So West Street Film says they'll have 1,000 qubits in no time. I mean, you don't know that. You don't know that. This right here is the most powerful computer ever built in the history of ever. And it's at 105. So saying they'll have 1,000 in no time, like, you're just saying words. Like, you don't know that. I think, could it happen? Yeah. But it also, you realize that, look at this thing. You think that like some random hacker in his mom's basement is going to buy this? I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's going to take time. And I also think crypto can evolve. That's my main point. Crypto will evolve, and the normal financial system is at way more of a threat than we are, by far. And that's way more of a target. We are a little blip compared to the bigger pie, which has lower security than us. Keep that in mind. All right. So got about 300 here on YouTube. You guys rock. Thanks for being here. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, all of the things. Haven't read the chat in a couple minutes here. I know I missed a couple super chats here. Got a Lee. What's your opinion on Quant? Oh, here we go. It's been underperforming, but knowing my luck, as soon as I sell it and move to another coin, it'll probably pump. Well, to be fair, I think if you follow me on Twitter, you know where I stand with Quant. I think I've been saying for a while that Quant does not have the marketing team that they need to have. Not even close. They have been dropping the ball with marketing for a very long time. I did not completely put that together until, I would say, starting probably around this time last year is when I started to worry about Quant. And at the time, I was vocally bullish on Quant. I was probably one of the most consistent Quant influencers, not because I was paid to talk about them, but because I liked the project. I remember on Lunar Crush or whatever, I was like number 1 and 2 tweeting about Quant for a couple weeks. And the thing is, I'm actually trying to find the tweet, is that I started to realize, okay, well, these guys really are not doing what they need to be doing in terms of marketing. And then they kind of put the nail in the coffin when they said, we're no longer using Twitter. Follow us on Blue Sky instead, whatever the hell Blue Sky is. And then I said, I used to love Quant, great tokenomics, fundamentally sound project. But earlier this year, I started to worry. I said on my live stream several times, which is true, that their marketing team has no idea what they're doing at all. This is the nail in the coffin. Way to read the room. And then some people will say, well, their target demographic isn't retail. Their target demographic is institutions. Blah, 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 blah. And then, to be fair, Quant did put some numbers on the board. It didn't do what Algorand did. It didn't do what VeChain did. It didn't do what Hedera did. But Quant did have its own pump. It did have its own pump. Let's look at it. So it actually went as low as $54. All right. So low here, top to bottom, we're talking about, 200%. No, actually, yeah, 211% top to bottom. it did have its day in the sun. It did surpass the previous high. All right. But it also did already give a lot of that up. I'd say the next big level for Quant is here from this little spike right there, that little one. The problem with Quant is that it is a magnet to the $100 level. Back in the day, like 23, early 24, so the 100 line is obviously right here where the point of control is at 100. That's why it's a magnet to that level. The point of control is at 100. So it's like, oh, we're above it, we're below it. We're above it, we're below it. We're above it, we're back at it. We're above it, we're below it. Like it just keeps going back to the $100 level without fail. So even when it's at $53, oh, it's going back to 100. And even when it goes to $171, guess what? It's probably going back to 100. Quant just loves flirting with the $100 level. So I think I don't know, man. They're doing it way differently than any other project that we're used to. In my opinion, hype in crypto, attention in crypto is probably the most important thing for a project, regardless of how good your TPS is, regardless how good your team is. Attention, this is the attention economy. Let's not forget about that. I would say crypto is probably 30% tech, 70% attention. And for a team, a whole project just to say, you know what, because of political reasons, we're done using Twitter. Grow up. You know what I mean? Like just go to fucking blue sky. Go. And it's just frustrating. It's just frustrating. Like I don't think that's the attitude. That's not the attitude. And I don't like them. I don't like how they're doing it. Even if they pump to 5,000 and shove it in my face, I don't care. I still made my money without it. So I have a little bit of Quant on Coinbase. I'm not buying anymore. I'll leave it there. I think they could have handled this a lot better. I think that when it comes to crypto, you need to have the wherewithal to put your political shit to the side and focus on read the room. I know some teams that are very left-wing and they don't talk about it. They don't play that card because they know how to read the room. You know what I mean? And not even like cancel culture or any, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that in this world, it's best to not make yourself look like the way Quant made themselves look. That was not the way to handle it. Their marketing team has no idea what they're doing. No idea. All right. And imagine what that pump could have been if they had a plan, if they were doing like anything, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I think the project is sound. I like their tokenomics. They proved that they still have a pulse without Twitter. But I think, with a proper plan of attack and a coordinated marketing launch for something like don't pretend retail doesn't matter. Retail does matter. And if you're basically giving the middle finger to retail and the platform where all of your investors are, you're probably not going to do that hot. I literally, there was a really good tweet that someone responded. It was basically the gist of it was the gist of the tweet was basically, way to just turn your back on the place like where all of your followers are. You know what I mean? It's just frustrating. So I'll leave it there. I don't care that much. And guys, here's the thing with crypto. And I think this is a really important lesson for you guys to learn. There's a lot of coins. There's a lot of strategies. There's a lot of things you could do. Generally, my strategy, I don't go on pump.fund. I don't throw darts at meme coins because I'm a traditional type trader, top 100 altcoin trader, and I have an edge on the market. And because I have an edge on the market, why would I throw darts all day? I think if you're throwing darts, it's because you don't know how to play the actual game, right? So it's kind of one of those things where, I'll buy coins outside of the top 100 or, further outside the top 300 if I have a feeling or if I like the team or if I have, certain information, whatever. But basically, my point is basically I stick with the top 100. All right. And my point is that there are so many coins for you to buy. The crypto will just throw opportunity at you left and right, left and right, left and right. And you don't know which one should I buy? I don't know. There's all these coins, there's all these projects, there's all these people. What should I put my money into? Right. So for me, it kind of comes down to, well, I'm not going to, I don't, if you hold 8 coins, you can't get mad at yourself when a coin you don't hold pumps. Like, stop doing that to yourself. It's not helping. Like, you got to pick the coins you pick. Don't chase other pumps. It's just going to get you in trouble. And stick to your guns. Stick to your guns. And when a team drops the ball like this and didn't do shit for marketing before that, I don't need to hold that coin. And if it pumps without me, oh well, my coins are going to have their day in the sun too. I'm going to make my money too. I already made my money. We're going to make more money. So I just don't want people to feel like you're missing out on things. Guys, there's so much in crypto. There are so many coins. You can't buy them all. You can't buy them all. Why would you? So if you skip, like sand, for instance, I don't hold sand anymore. Quant, I'm not buying Quant anymore. I don't really buy IMX or Gala. I'm kind of skipping out on gaming. I don't really think gaming, while tokenization and AI is going on, I don't really care about the gaming coins. And if they pump without me, all right, well, I'm still making my money with these coins over here. My point is, when you pick your coins for whatever reason, or you like them, or you like the team, or you just gel with that project for whatever reason, stick to your guns. Stick to your guns. Don't feel like you're missing out just because you don't hold this, or that. And that, what I just said, when people don't have that kind of advice, that's why people end up with 40 coins in their bags. And they ride them all to the bottom because they don't know how to manage any of them. They just don't want to miss out on anything. They just throw money at letters. And then they have a handful of shit and they don't know what's popping, what's not popping. It's too much to manage. There's too much going on. So I would rather be in a situation where I can manage the coins I have rather than be frantically looking at 40 charts all day, which is kind of already what I do anyway. So imagine that. So I think Quant could still have its day in the sun, but I'm out. All right. H-bar won't have an issue either with quantum computer. Yeah, probably. I think Lehman and those boys have it figured out. Have it figured out for sure. I don't know what solo whatever is. I'm good. I'm gonna pass on that. Interesting. All right, checking the chat. All right, so let's dive in. We got 270 some people on YouTube. Thanks for being here. A bunch of people on Twitter. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, all the things. So let's hit a couple charts here. I basically ran through the gist of what I wanted to say about quantum computers. We talked about, the kind of the psychology of retest and HODLing versus trading, all very important ideas that I feel a lot of people still don't completely grasp. One thing I want to point out is the stock market. S&P 500, 200, 500, doing very good. We are still very bullish, cranking, still going. And this has not had its day yet. I don't know, dude. This thing could just continue slowly. I think obviously a retest could happen eventually. I think that, each time we put in a new high, you see how I kind of drew this level across like that, kind of retest, rejection comes through, boom. And then what does it do? It retests that level right here and then continues on. So I think that there is certainly room to, those highs are all kind of worth setting alarms at. Just so okay, the stock market, or even this high, for instance, or the stock market's either continuing or the stock market is losing a previous level. And just having your finger on the pulse. I'm not telling you to go get a Robinhood. I'm not telling you to trade stocks. I don't, but I still like to know where it's at. Let's be honest here. Assets at risk are assets at risk. And the stock market does have an effect on crypto, regardless of if the correlation is increasing or decreasing. There is some correlation there. And I do always keep an eye on the S&P, and bet your bottom dollar, if the S&P goes like this, so did your altcoins. All right. I already have a Bitcoin dominance chart. I wanted to talk about that. Very interesting. This 57 level has been an alarm for us for a while. And that alarm went off not long ago, but for the wrong reason. And also, we set an alarm here because this was the local low for Bitcoin dominance. And this is kind of what I talked about in the portfolio update on Sunday. All right. Because if we kind of scroll back in time here and look at 2021, all right. So from the end of 2020, beginning of 2021 to the sell in May walk away dump, Bitcoin dominance just kind of fell right on down the hill here. It had a couple little fights here, and then it just kept dropping like a fucking brick. And this time, I mean, unless this is just like a wild little spike back up to catch people with their pants down, this is scary. This thing held, like, look at if you kind of pull this across, oops, that's a pretty scary level to hold, considering that this high, big fight for it here, bounce off of it here. That's not the level I wanted Bitcoin dominance to fight at. I did not want to see that. And that's why I had that alarm set. And then when I saw a Bitcoin dominance alarm went off on my phone, I was like, oh shit. And it was this one. I was like, ugh, like, damn it. You know what I mean? So certainly keep an eye on it. Looking at the 2-hour chart here, you know, it kind of had a clear, you know, kind of like little breakout from the point right there. If you wanted to continue to keep an eye on this, I mean, this level here is important. Also, this level here is probably the next level on my radar for Bitcoin dominance at 58.68. Why is that? Well, it was the ceiling here. It was a fight for it here, and it was the floor here. This is a very clean, perfect support resistance level for Bitcoin dominance. And right now, Bitcoin dominance is in between, kind of maybe getting back into what consisted of this, you know, ascending, broadening channel here. Could it get back into this range, right? Or is it going to maybe like reject off the inverse? What do I mean by that? Like, we're rejecting off the inverse is a concept that I've kind of grown to notice. It's not really something people talk about, but it's when we have this uptrend and when it will come up to this level and then bounce off of it the other direction. I don't know the meaning of it, but I just call it an inverse bounce. It's just something I see a lot. I don't know why I always see it, but basically we have like a pattern, right? We have a pattern like this, and we blah, 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 blah. We break down, and then we'll come down. We'll kiss the edge of that pattern and then go back down. I don't know what that means, but I notice it, and maybe this is one of those cases, you know. But definitely close eye on Bitcoin dominance. We want to see this thing not get back into this ascending, broadening trend. We want to see we don't want to get back past this previous low here at 58.68. So keep a close eye on it. Hopefully we come back down into this range and continue our trip down the hill, because that's what pumps your altcoin bags. All right. We talked about, so let's just kind of go over the charts we hit on the portfolio update, because, you know, we kind of talked about, oops, 1 second. We talked about optimism. We drew this level in the portfolio update video, and guess what? That was right on the money. 14% down the hill in 24 hours. And now we're back at this level. And this is a pretty big level for optimism, because it kind of bounced off this level as it headed up the hill here. And I would say right now, optimism is in a conditional range. We don't care about the range. We care about the break. And it is still above the level just a little bit. But if basically we're longing if it goes above 242, and we're shorting if it goes below 206. Right now it's at 208. So it is damn close to that level. And why is this so important? Look at this volume profile. Look at this volume profile. Look at that thing. There is no volume under this level. This thing just drops off a cliff. And the point of control is all the way down here to $1.73. Optimism falls from not the price it's at, but that level to $1. Oh, let me get my measuring stick. Come on, measuring stick. Come with me. To the point of control, that is another 15% drop for optimism. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Looking at Pyth, another one, guys. We were so right about this one in the portfolio update. Oh my goodness, 25% to the downside. So I'm not going to stick with Pyth for too long, just kind of showing those levels here. I mean, even coming over to the graph, another case where we were kind of in between two levels and boom. But the interesting thing is that look at where the graph wicked. See how the graph wicked at this level we already had at 22.95. That's important. The fact that it held that support resistance is interesting. So this is kind of what I want you guys to do moving forward. Let's hope that, let's pull this over. Let's hope that these all form 2-hour bullish divergences. That's what we want to see. 2-hour bullish divergences on these charts. And we want to see it hold support resistance. So for all your charts, and I'll do it on Algorand too, but I'll do it with the graph now. For all the charts that you guys got held, or you guys want to trade, or you missed this big move down, and now you're kind of looking what to do now. This is what I want you to do. I already have it here, but I want you to draw a level at the local low that it wicked to. For the graph, it's 22.96. And then I want you to draw a line at where that high before it came back down. And notice how that is also probably support resistance. It's definitely support resistance. A couple times, specifically this wick right here. All right. And it's funny how the prices always come back to the same levels. That's why I always tell you, leave your alarms on, because a price that you use for a long might end up being used for a short. So now I would say that the graph is conditionally ranging. We don't care about this range. We care about the break of this range, right? So I would say a good long for the graph, 27.41. A good short would be 23.05. And, things are looking pretty bearish. Things do look pretty sad. The 2-hour does look like we're kind of impending that death cross right now. Definitely makes you think, oh, I wish I sold up here at 30 cents. But hey, if you're hodling your bags, this was not the top. Let me say it again. This was not the top of the bull market. So if you're hodling, this is an opportunity. Even if, let's put it in perspective. Say, this kind of looks like a face, doesn't it? So say you bought up here, you chased the pump. Well, guess what? You got wrecked. All right, that sucks, right? Thing number one, don't chase the pumps. Wait for the retest. Well, guess what, everybody? We're retesting. We're retesting, and we're retesting now. So you're saying to yourself, okay, so we are currently 43% away from the local high. So if I buy here to at least get the local high, make 43%, and then continuation, we get continuation. Because the 2024 high for the graph didn't even come close to performing what it should have done. This is the 2024 high for the graph. And the tokenomics are the same, basically. All right. So, God, come on, let me use my brush. So basically for the graph to get back to its 2024 high, we're talking exactly 101%, 101 Dalmatians. And if you really think that at the top of the bull market that's coming in 2025, that the graph doesn't get at least to here and continue, stop smoking crack. You are high. You use crack. Don't smoke crack. All right. So, my point here is that, so say you buy the graph right here, and then everything keeps falling, and it falls all the way down to the next support resistance level at 20 cents. Say you buy here, and then it falls all the way to here. Okay. But then in hindsight, oops. Oh, come on. I hate when the brush comes back. But then in hindsight, the bull market goes all the way up here. What's the difference? What's the difference? You see my point? This is certainly a time to zoom out and to think big picture and to realize that we have time. In my opinion, second inning. Inning number 2. I don't subscribe to the April theory. I don't care for the March theory. I don't care. I like the Bitcoin halving cycle. And the Bitcoin halving cycle has not let us down. Is yet to fail us. So why would we go into this bull run thinking, oh, we're just going to pick before? No, I'm sticking to the book. If anything, this bull run's going to go longer. Why? Well, we're about to get a president back that knows what he's doing. A businessman that is going to bring millions and millions of dollars, billions and trillions of hundreds of billions of dollars back into America. We have had 2 interest slashes. Trump's not even in the White House yet. What we saw the other week was not the top. And to think that Trump's coming back and we're topping in April? What? No. Q3, Q4 2025 has been the playbook based off the Bitcoin halving cycle. But if there was ever a situation where we could continue into 26, it's this one. It's this one. So don't freak out. Think big. Think long term. All right. If you're buying this retest here and you're wrong and it falls through here, but we ultimately pump up here, what's the difference? God, what's the difference? So these are your opportunities. I would say anytime you could get the graph between 25, anytime you can, I want to say it flat. Anytime you can buy the graph under 25 cents, right now it's at 25.20. Anytime you can buy the graph under 25, 24 cents, it's a win. It's a win. It's a big win. All right, let's do Algorand. I wanted to take a quick look at Jasmy because, man, that one was just brutal. It is testing the 200 EMA right now. This would be a situation where you draw, of course, this support resistance level comes back about just under 3 cents. You could draw one right here. I like that the point of control is above the price right now. Draw one right there at 0.34. Yeah, that's kind of all we got other than that wick right there too at 0.36. That's what I would be looking at for the graph for Jasmy right now, excuse me. I think that Jasmy showed its legs. We were spot on about this coin. It pumped 200% right before Thanksgiving break. I made a video, top 5 coins that haven't pumped yet. Jasmy was at the top of that list. And Jay Change was like, oh, I'm going to sell my Jasmy. And I said, bro, do not sell your Jasmy. That thing is going to rip. It's the Bitcoin of Japan. And I am not giving up on that project. I think it's going to be a big winner in the bull run. And I think retests like this are probably not the worst time to get in on it. It's also one of those deals like the graph. Well, let's look at the math here. Let's think. Okay, so you didn't sell here, right? And then say you buy here and you're wrong and it falls to here, but then it pumps to here. What's the difference? What's the difference? Guys, I'm going to stand a very hard line in the sand. What just happened was not the top of the bull market. Not even close. Not even close. This is not a bad day. This dip that we had, could have you sold the local top and waited it to fall 30% and then bought back? Could you have optimized that move? Yeah, you could have. But if you're hodling, well, don't you want to hold for at least a year for long-term capital gains breaks? Not going to have the tax conversation because I literally talked to my tax guy on the phone and he told me exactly what he was doing with my money. And then I made a video to clear it up for people with questions. And then everyone's like, no, you're wrong. I'm not having the tax conversation, but I do know that if you hold for at least a year, it's long-term capital gains instead of short-term capital gains. So if you're holding, you're not really trying to optimize, because if you are choosing to optimize, you have to outperform the tax gains. So there is that problem as well. Last and certainly not least, our favorite coin, one of my favorite coins, Algorand. All right. So guys, first of all, Algorand outperformed just about everything. Holy shit. This thing just had no chill whatsoever from the swing low on November 4th to the tippy top for 482%. Shout out to the Algo fam. Another well-deserved sip from the glass of I told you so. Hold on. But guys, anytime something pumps 482%, you have to know it's going to give some of that back. You have to know that this is coming. It does look like the EMA death cross is pending here. It does certainly feel like, oh shit, look at this. We don't want to see the death cross happen. It might be a couple month-long downtrend. All right. So, of course, now we get this trend line, thing number one. Hopefully it breaks it sooner than later because that's a sharp angle. What is this angle? Trend angle. This is about a 44 point, about a 45 degree angle, 44 degree angle. Guys, that's not going to hold up. That's a sharp angle. Generally when you see trend lines like kind of gradual like that, like 10 to 15%, that takes a while. When you see a 45, 44 degree downtrend, that's not going to hold up. Algorand is going to break this eventually, probably sooner than later. So consider that thing number one. Thing number two, let's find our levels. There is a couple gaps in the volume profile. We're kind of in the middle of one right now. It's not totally dead there. It's not like there's no volume here, but there is kind of a little blip right there. And what concerns me is that we're right here. All right. So this level, oops, not mean to draw that, but I'll use it anyway. This level here actually aligns almost with that volume profile right there. That will be 0.326. This is 326 right here. We do not want to see Algorand lose 32 cents. Do not want to see that. Bad. All right. The local low is 34.5. What was that? 30? Yeah, 34.7. We don't want to see that. That's local low. But to be fair, there's a lot of leverage volume right now for Algorand as well. So if we hit this level, you could have a little targeted short, probably from here to this, which would be about a 6.5% targeted short. You could work that out if you wanted to target that short. I don't hate that idea. That trade probably will work. Also, there's really not that much to go off of other than this little blip, and that's kind of just pulling straws. If you want to draw the line, you can. 39.6. That's just one little clip. There's really not that much to go off of because Algorand, unlike other coins, just completely blew the doors off of its March run big time. And what's interesting about this line that we already drew at 32.7 is that was the March high. So that we really want to see Algorand hold that floor big time. All right. So also want to look at the oscillator. Daily. Daily's still pretty far in the green, which is actually pretty cool to see. We are hoping for local bullish divergences on the 2-hour charts, but like I said, those are the main levels from Algorand. And then obviously there's the tops, but we're not even close to that. So top to bottom, 52.9, 47 flat, 42.4, 39.5, 34.7, and 32.5. Those are the main levels that we're watching right now. But the main thing I'm watching is that trend line. This is a nasty trend line. I hope Algorand breaks above it. And if it does continue to fall, we don't want to see and this is also the March high at 32.7. We don't want to see Algorand lose that level. That would be a bad thing. But also ultimately, let's put it into perspective. All right. So let's say we're here. All right, let me go to a clean chart so we don't have the all right. So here we are. Let's put this into perspective for everybody. Let's circle back on our thesis that this was not the top of the bull market. Absolutely not. All right. Say we buy today and we're wrong. And it falls back to 26 cents. But then it pumps to $140, $1.40, which would be 135% from that high, which doesn't seem that crazy. What's the difference? Think long term. If you're a day trader and you're day trading, that's a different thing. I have a Telegram group for that. You should join it. But if you are just a hodler, you are hodling your bags, I don't want you to worry. I don't want you to stress. What we saw was not the top. This is a retest. It might last longer than you want it to, but it's not the end of the world. Trump's not even in office yet. All right. I do want to thank, it's got over 230 people still watching the show. Thank you guys for being here. You guys rock. I am going to check the chat here. I have kind of not looked at the chat in a minute. When I just get to cooking, I forget. All right, I didn't give my opinion on that. I know there are some requests. Yes, I did do a graph price prediction. W stream. Thank you, Brandon. I do appreciate it. Can you do ICP, please? How about I do ICP tomorrow? Because I have to run to an eye doctor's appointment. All right, fine. Jack, just for you. Just for you. This is, I'll tell that eye doctor, listen here, Buster. My homie Jack sent me a $2 super chat. And I'm doing that chart just for Jack because we do it for the streets around here. All right. So this is certainly an example of you should have sold. Dun, 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 dun. That's you should have sold. Hey, guys, if you didn't see that tweet, for the love of God, go watch it. Down 27% from that top. Not the end of the world, though. I'm interested to see the 2-day chart on this. Wow. What's interesting about the ICP 2-day chart is that we just got the 2-day bull cross. Last time we got a 2-day bull cross that happened all the way over here. And it eventually led to a 70% pump at 78 days. So, and there were dips in there because when you're looking at a 2-day chart, your head's going to be hanging a lot farther. You can fall back down, but your 2-day bull cross is pretty sweet. And, and guys, look at like the oscillator here. You see how it came up high here, and see how the oscillator's higher here. And then the price went further, but the oscillator's lower. All right. That could happen here. This obviously formed a very large bearish divergence on the 2-day, which ultimately led to this dip. Okay. And look at the makeup of that on Market Cipher, right? Look at this. We got the anchor wave, trigger wave, trigger wave, trigger wave, textbook, crossing to red, down in the RSI, down the VWAP, down in momentum wave. All the signs are there on a large time frame. The 2-day chart's a large time frame, especially for me. I say some people say weekly chart. I say 2-day chart because I'm a day trader. So it's one of those deals where, all right, I think on the 2-day chart, I wouldn't want to see ICP lose the 50 because we don't want to have that 2-day bull cross finally happen and it have immediately turn around. This though could be the anchor wave. If ICP goes higher, but the oscillator's lower, that's your giveaway that, okay, that might be the top. You know what I mean? So that's certainly worth keeping in mind. What we want to see, everybody, and I want to even keep this in mind for altcoins. Say we retest here and we go back up. We want to see that momentum wave be higher than this one. Because if it's not, that's where we can start thinking top before everyone else because we're looking for that divergence. All right. So let's kind of level out ICP here. So we did kind of have support resistance right here, 1547, which is the local high. There's obviously a big giant support resistance level right here. All right, which is right around 1069. We are a little bit above that, but we did test it too. Let's zoom back into like a daily. All right, because you can see that we wicked it. It was the floor. It was the floor. It was the floor. We lost it. It was the ceiling. It's the fight. It's the floor. So, this level, I would say, is the level on ICP at $10.69. All right. So let's kind of look at this range, though, because as you can see here, kind of through the summertime, right? ICP, without drawing the trend line, basically was inside of this box of chop, regardless of the wick. Regardless of the wicks, ICP spent 166 days inside of a 62% range. That kind of reminds me of Chainlink's bear market, kind of set in that range. So this would certainly be the value area low for for ICP, you could actually even go like this and say value area low here. This is the better place to buy, because although ICP did break here, and then eventually had the big break, the majority of this 166 days was spent down here. So that's important to realize as well. And that is significant support resistance, especially because if you continue this line back, look where it ends up right here. So these levels are very big. From the bottom, we're talking $6.57. The next level is kind of not a perfect line. Maybe you could draw it better on your chart, but it's $8.69. And then the level, the big level is $10.69. We don't want to see ICP lose that level. Similar to Algorand. All right. This is a very sharp angle, very sharp trend angle here. We're talking, and not as sharp as Algorand, but 22%. That's pretty gnarly. Actually, hold on. Yeah, it wasn't right. Yeah, this thing's not going to hold up. These dip downs like this, that's kind of makes me think, like, kind of yells retest at me. But impending 2-hour death cross, we're still holding support resistance. I would say that 1069 level, that would be a sell or short for me. And then the target for target one would be 873, 875, or you could target the top support resistance level here at 970. Yeah, 973 and 875. 973, 875 from the original 1070. All right. And then you could conditionally range it out from here like this around, to 12. So we can kind of see it range. We don't care about the range. We care about the break. There you go. Little overview for ICP. For my homie Jack, I hope I'm late for the eye doctor because of my homie Jack. Everything is dumping. Oh, we're well aware. We're watching it happen in real time. And I'm telling you guys that this is a part of it. Like, it's not that, guys, what you just said is not like you're accurate, but I want you to see the bigger picture, man. Like Jasmine, back to Jasmine really quick. Everything's dumping right now. Well, man, for all of this time, let's just do this from, I'll even go from where it fell back into this level. All right. So from August 2nd, right there, August 2nd till November 29th, Jasmine spent 118 days inside of a 60% range. This would be a value area, just like we talked about with the chart before on ICP. And dude, we are still 47% above the value area. If you bought Jasmine at under 2.5 cents, you're still winning. We are still up. That's what I want you guys to realize. Just because you did, listen, you're never going to sell the tippy top. You're never going to buy the very bottom. The money is invariably made in the middle. No matter what, you're never going to perfectly time this ever. All right. So like this much money, good job. Well done. Or if you're thinking long-term, you want to hold it because this sure as hell wasn't the top for the bull market, so it's not a matter of everything is dumping, dude. We are still well above average buy prices right now. Well above. This is a part of the deal, bro. This is a bull market. This is a bull market. And in bull markets, there are deadly retests that scare you out. This is an attempt to get you out of your bags. This is an attempt for you to sell before the real magic happens. All right. It is as simple as that. When the tables turn, where will you be? My name's AJ Writes Crypto. Get rich or get wrecked. Smash that like button. I'll see you guys tomorrow.